Hello and welcome back, YouTube. It is Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023, 9:59 a.m. So Costco will be opening in 1 minute. I spent an awkward amount of time on the phone with my Costco credit card customer service. Initially, I called just to see how much credit I had available, because as I was mentioning in my last video, some of my as much as I'm trying to pay off my cards, some of them the balances are creeping back up on me, and since my money kind of run out this week, more than run out, I cannot believe what it cost me to insure this stupid car for the next 6 months. Anyway, as a result of that, like, I'm just kind of trying to make it until funds are available for my next Amazon direct payment, which should happen sometime today. In fact, I haven't checked my online banking yet. It might be available now, for all I know. But I wanted to check Costco because my tank is very low. Oh yeah. When I was out on my date or whatever it was with Malika, at one point I had to shine the light into my dashboard to look at the gas gauge. As I've shown before on this vlog, and as I've mentioned, the backlighting doesn't work behind the gas gauge. So at night it's very difficult to see, like, the needle lights up, but you can't see like the markings on the gauge, like where it actually lands. So at night, if I need to see, like, I can tell I'm low on gas, but if I need to see if I'm actually to the point of, oh shit, we got to stop and get gas, or I can drive around for a while, we're fine. And a car that gets like over 30 to the gallon, I can push it for a while, even though it's getting pretty low. Anyway, so yeah, I shone the light in it, and it was at that point of like, yeah, I got a while. But then I went for kind of a long drive after I dropped her off last night, and well, not really a long drive. I just kind of took the long way home with a little diversion through the zone to see how what things were happening there. Wow, we got quite the homeless encampment going on the right and on the left. It looks like they kicked him out of the park, though. That's interesting. It looks like Phoenix kicked him out of the park, so they're right on the other side of the wall where the mental health clinic is, and then they're back across the street on Costco's property. It's like whack-a-mole with the homeless population. They, you can tell them to leave, but they have nowhere to go. So if you don't give them somewhere to go, they just, move. And most of them don't move very far because they're, on foot and pushing a shopping cart. And my car just stalled out. Is it going to make it to the pump? No, it's not. Ain't that some shit. Anyway, I want to talk more about the phone call to the Costco credit card, because that was, quit dinging car. That was interesting, but I need to fuel up right now because I'm notably below the empty on the gauge, and I'm to that point where I'm really running the risk of running out. So let me handle that, and I shall be right back. And welcome back. It's quit dinging car, 10:07 a.m. So the main Costco store should be open right now. I just want to pop in there and get a hot dog and drink. It's just the cheapest meal I can get, and it just beats cold bologna sandwiches at home. So, although maybe I could splurge and get myself a slice of pizza. I think that's like $2. Actually, I think I might do that because I got plenty of soda options at home. Anyway, it's just, by the way, it's in case you couldn't really obviously see out the windshield, it's kind of a chilly, drizzly, wet sort of day in Phoenix today. So yeah, not the most pleasant day to be out. But as you see, I'm not going far from home. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact I was primarily going to get gas, I could have walked up to Costco. So I did top off my tank. Holy shit, gas prices have gone up in the last couple weeks. Just paid $4.15 a gallon. Damn. It seemed like gas prices were gradually going down. Certainly nothing like the pre-Biden prices, but they were definitely on a downward. Prices were going in a downward motion, and now it's like, wow. And that's at Costco. So imagine how much it is everywhere else. So yeah, just topped off the tank. 11.53 gallons. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was definitely running on the very bottom of that tank. And and it just fucking sold out again. Damn this car. What's my total price here? $47.97. Damn, $50 for a tank of gas. For a small tank of gas and a small economy car. So, ouch. Yeah, this is why I'm having trouble making much headway at paying off my Costco card, but a Costco Visa credit card. But yeah, stalled out again. I think I can park in this spot here. Anyway, I did say I was going to talk about my call to customer. Stop dinging already. Talk about my call to customer service with Costco, the Costco credit card this morning, and I still want to get back to that. However, I just kind of wanted to know before I pop in there and get some food and potentially some other stuff. When I go on social media, so often, specifically on YouTube and Reddit, which are generally speaking the only social media platforms that I use these days, I often see a lot of people discussing Costco and whether or not it's a ripoff, particularly Costco gas. And I frequently see people talking about, oh, it's just not worth it to go to Costco gas because the wait is so long. You always have to wait so long. It's always such a long line. I don't know if you noticed in that video, I drove right up to the pump. The only delay for me getting to the pump was that my car stalled out and I had to restart it so I could drive the last couple car lengths to the pump. And that's usually what it's like when I come here. So I'm thinking that the people who are having problems with the line for fuel at Costco are either A, going to the wrong damn Costco, or B, they're just going at the wrong damn time. It's usually really empty when I go here, and normally I go at about, between 6 and 6:30 in the morning. But I mean, right now it's just a little bit after 10 a.m. and no line to speak of either. So for all you people who think Costco has too long of a line for gas, try to get your ass up in the morning. Try that. That might help you. Yeah, I just went in, got myself a slice of pizza. It's a big-ass slice of really decent pepperoni pizza for $2. I can't beat it. It's just right down the street. Didn't get any drinks. I got soda at home. I'm good. I also got a pamphlet they were giving out in front of the store called Making the Most of Your Costco Membership. That sounds like some nice light reading. Also got a flyer about the Costco credit card. Hopefully it has some information on there about how to go about getting and using their app, because I know they've got one. It seems like at one point I installed it on one of my phones, but never really used it. Anyway, it's not on any of the phones I have now, and I feel like I should really be using it. Because if I had it, I wouldn't have had that long, I don't want to say annoying, but awkward phone call with two different people plus a robot with the Costco credit card customer service today. Wouldn't have had that call. I could have just gone on the app and looked at it. I think if I was using the app, I would be probably making more progress at actually getting that paid off versus every now and then overrunning my available credit on it and wondering what the hell I was thinking. Oh, there's a forklift driver I just rode right next to. Using the little, using the Raymond forklift, stacking empty pallets. From what I understand, those Raymond forklifts are just about identical in capacity and operation to the Jungheimer, I think that's how you pronounce the brand, forklifts that I use at Amazon. The only notable difference is the Amazon ones have custom firmware where they've limited some of the features. and I don't think the ones here as restricted. Most notably, they restrict the speed on the ones at Amazon to where they can't exceed 2.9 miles per hour. And I think a Raymond and a Jungheimer as well, if it's not restricted, go 5 miles an hour. So there are times I do wish I could go faster than 2.9 miles per hour. Mostly when I'm running pallet receive around, just because sometimes I have to go a pretty large distance. From like say the end of zone 10 to I don't know, like dock 126. And when I'm doing that, it would definitely be nice to be able to go faster. And I certainly wish I could go faster when I'm working dock 339 as well. Not like I hardly ever get to use dock 330, work dock 339 anymore, but at this point I'm like so experienced and I do so much other stuff that doing something as basic as 339, it just gets assigned to other forklift drivers. Homeless guy with the shopping cart does not look happy to be walking in the rain. Oh, the two rental scooters that were at the end of the alley, the Lime scooters, they've been moved. I don't know if anybody rode them or if just like Lime staff came and moved them, but they're not there anymore. Although there is another one like pretty much across the street from it there on 46th Street. So Lime's still very much happening in this area. Although I found out today, or maybe it was yesterday, probably yesterday, reading a Reddit post in our Phoenix, which I'm still not allowed to comment in, but that's a whole nother separate thing. I still browse it, I still read it when there's interesting stuff on there. And somebody had posted a video of a Waymo vehicle going directly through. Ooh, we got two Lime scooters on the ground on the right here. I'm thinking somebody just pushed them over. I don't think it's the riders that do that as much as just non-riders that are just hating, and that's how they deal with their, that's the mature way that they deal with their hate for rental scooters, and just kick them down. I'd like to do that with people who hate on rental scooters. I'd like to kick them down, but I think that would be considered assault, so probably I shouldn't. I don't know where the hell I'm going. I should just be going home, but I'm still wanting to explain what happened with my phone call to Costco customer service. I had two more of the rental scooters, Lime scooters on the left. I'm sure you saw them as I was approaching. Yeah, I see them all with those little chain locks, but I don't see hardly anybody using those, or the additional cable locks that I used when I locked mine full. See another rental scooter on the ground by the bus stop to the left there. It was a Spin. I did notice that they've got in the Spin app, they've got some options for like where you do more riding and you get a better price. But none of them. Oh wow, there's a homeless encampment going in the alley I just passed on the left. Never noticed that one before. Anyway, they're like, one of them is for an hour. I think it's kind of shady the way they're advertising them. Like, they've got these passes, like a 1 week pass, and then they've got a 1 month pass, but it's not for unlimited rides during a month or unlimited rides during a week, but it's for free unlock fees. I believe the price of the unlock fee is $1. So if I had prepaid for that, it would have made my ride the other day that was like $5 and change. It would have made it $4 and change. Yeah, I don't see me ever doing enough paid rental scooter rides with Spin to make the 1 week or the 1 month worth the amount that they're spending. I think the 1 month was like $30, so I would literally have to be doing one ride a day just to break even on that. Yeah, not a good deal. Not a good deal at all. And I might be misquoting the numbers. Don't 100% rely on me. I get things wrong all the time. Look in your Spin app, and hey, it might be different in different markets too. That might just be a Phoenix thing. Speaking of me getting the numbers wrong, on my last video I did mention that I had gotten an offer for like 10% or 15% off my replacement headlight lenses from the seller. When I got home, I checked it, and it's only 5% off. I mean, 5% is 5%. I'm going to take the discount, but it's not such a huge deal if by the time I have the funds available to do it, the deal is expired. But anyway, I did just check my banking app while I was inside Costco, and I don't have the funds available for my Amazon direct deposit yet. It usually hits sometime during Wednesday, but hasn't hit yet. And I'm really not sure exactly what time it hits. Because I've had times where I've checked the app and it's available, and then hours later, I got the push, I got the message, either the text message or the push-through notice or the email message telling me that it's available. Oh, that guy didn't like the fact I was going something near the speed limit. He's going to like me turning right on red while he has to sit at that light even less. Must suck to be that impatient. So anyway, something about people who drive Dodges, by the way. See, there seems to be a correlation between people who drive Dodges and people who are really impatient and do shit like that guy just did. Hurrying up and rushing and passing me when there was a passing lane suddenly available, just to hurry up and get to that red light before I did. Anyway, yeah, I checked, and it's not available yet. Wow, I just got some kind of pop-up from my Obamaphone. I'm on Obamaphone 3 still. My phone's not even with me. I left it at home. It was uploading another chapter of my vlog on my Wi-Fi, and I just figured I could do just fine without it. So it's still recording, unlike the last time I got a pop-up message, but I got save password to Google. No, leave me alone. There should just be no questions popping up from Android wanting answers while I'm shooting video, because duh, I'm busy shooting video. Yeah, the operating system on this phone is stupid, and at this point I don't even know if that's just the way the current version of Android is, or if it's just because this phone, because there's so much variation from one Android phone to the next Android phone. Anyway, speaking of this Android phone, so I had stated in an earlier video that restricted mode on YouTube was forced upon me because I disabled the newsreader, which is something I can't uninstall from this phone, which from what I've researched is a form of spyware that's put on free government program phones. Certainly my first phone from Assurance Wireless had it. My second phone from Assurance Wireless didn't. This is my third one. It does have that kind of reader on it. So I thought that what had caused me to get restricted mode on YouTube, which definitely just makes YouTube kind of non-functional for the kind of stuff I want to do. Like, I just don't have access to comments. I can't comment. I can't read comments. There's a live stream. Oh, there's a live stream going on right now in Denver. It was a high school shooting at Denver East High School. That's fabulous. I tried to go to it, and I was able to watch the video, but then the rest of the information that should be below the video wasn't loading. And then when I realized what was actually causing me to be on restricted mode on YouTube, I went back on and it was there. So come to find out, what was causing me to be on restricted mode wasn't the newsreader. So my apologies. That's not true. That is not what's causing that. At least I don't think it's causing that. I don't know. I haven't tried turning it back, disabling it again, and then seeing if it puts me in restricted mode. But one thing that is definitely causing restricted mode was just causing it now, because I do have the newsreader. I have it activated, but I have the notifications disabled, so it's running in the background at all times, wasting resources on this horrifically under-resourced phone. But that's not what was causing me to go into restricted mode. What was causing me to go into restricted mode, which I found, because I once again Googled how to turn off restricted mode. I'm like, what the hell? How did this happen again? So I'm getting ready to kind of deep dive in that while I'm sitting in Costco eating my pizza and using their free Wi-Fi. And I did see a thing where it asked about, why can't I, somebody had asked, why can't I turn off restricted mode? And it said something about system administrators, your network system administrator. There's another Lime scooter on the ground. That your network system administrator might have it disabled. And if so, talk to your network administrator about that. Sure, they're going to get right on that. Like I have any access to the system administrator who handles the Wi-Fi network, the customer Wi-Fi network for Costco. Anyway, it was definitely Costco's Wi-Fi that was causing it to go in restricted mode. So I got off their Wi-Fi, got back on my free data through Assurance Wireless, and suddenly YouTube was just back to normal and fine. And mind you, this is after I followed the directions on how to disable it. I got back to that thing where I couldn't disable it, and said that my system administrator had disabled it. So good to know that's a thing. I didn't really understand that before. I honestly thought it was because of the newsreader that comes pre-installed on this phone that can't be uninstalled. But no, I got a feeling. And last time I had that happen, I was also I was having a hot dog and tea over at Costco. So it's very likely that last time it was also due to Costco's Wi-Fi, which makes Costco's free Wi-Fi a lot less useful to me as a customer. And maybe I should shoot them an email about it and just tell them as a customer I'm not happy about that. As a member, mind you, not just a customer, but a member, I'm not happy about that because I like to browse YouTube while I'm eating in their food court. And come on, why restrict me like that? Anyway, so back to the phone call with customer service. And granted, this is more of a me problem than a them problem, and I admit that, I accept that. But I've gotten, much like a lot of people, kind of spoiled with modern technology. And one modern technology that I've found myself kind of reliant on is caller ID recognizing me as a customer when I call customer service lines. Obviously, this is going to work for me when I call on my Obamaphone, but when I call on my iPhone, it's got the same phone number that I've had for something like 14 years, 15 years, maybe longer. I know I had that phone number before Lily was born. It's like I had it a while before Lily was born. Lily's 13 now. So anyway, long time phone number. When I'm calling customer service on that phone, generally speaking, and I'm trying to think of like specifically what customer service numbers, but some of the credit cards, some of my banks, Cox Internet, Cox Cable Internet. So I've kind of got accustomed to that and not having to answer a lot of identify yourself kind of questions when I call for customer service, especially considering most of the time when I call for customer service, I'm dealing with automation, AI type automation. Most of them, they're speech enabled, so I'm talking with a robot. I'm not talking with a person. So anyway, the Costco credit card customer service, typical customer service, answered by a robot, but the first thing it asked was the last 4 digits of my Costco credit card. Well, when I was making the call, I did not have my Costco credit card on me. It was in, most likely, the pocket of the pants that I was wearing the night before, which I hadn't gone about looking for, because I have slept since going out with Malika. Granted, I haven't slept a lot, but I went to sleep, and then I woke up when I woke up. And I was awake, so I haven't been trying to get back to sleep. And it wasn't like I'd been up a whole lot like when I went out with her anyway. Like I think I woke up at like 10:30 p.m. after sleeping damn near all day Tuesday. So yeah, that's how I have always been with sleep. Like I sleep very erratically, and I believe that's a symptom of my mental illness anyway. So it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, I didn't feel like searching in my pants, searching for my pants and trying to search through the pocket of my pants to call the card. I figured I could. My goal in calling the customer service line was just to verify that I had enough available credit on my card to top off the gas tank on my car, because I knew my gas tank was really low. That was the whole purpose of my call. But the robot voice that answers, first thing it did was ask the last 4 digits of my card. It didn't give me any kind of option for accessing my account short of telling it the last 4 digits of my card. So imagine for a moment, if you will. Now that's not the situation that I had this morning, but it's a very possible situation of why you might be calling your credit card customer service. Imagine I've lost my card and I'm calling because I need to replace it. If I've lost my card, there's a good chance I don't know the last 4 digits to it. So yeah, kind of an automated customer service fail there. So of course, when the automation says, or it actually says say the last 4 digits. So I said, I don't know them offhand. I don't have my card handy. In hopes that the AI powering the customer service is able to understand that. Well, those new apartments going in the left are going in fast. They're still under construction, but they're making really good progress on building those. I don't know much about them. I drive on this stretch of 32nd Street a lot, and I see it. So it's kind of neat watching them be built. They look like they're going to possibly be a little on the affordable side. And I'm hoping that they're apartments that are affordable as opposed to quote-unquote affordable housing. Which reminds me, I'm driving by a Circle K and I haven't got my Sip and Save drink today. And I'm not even so sure that I got my Sip and Save drink yesterday. So that's something I should be doing right now. So anyway, kind of a customer service fail. That's all it's asking for is the last 4 digits. And that the voice analysis doesn't. Well, interesting homeless encampment on the left on the ADOT property right past the freeway. Had like a big awning and then anyway, it was quite a big little campsite there. Oh, Tacos La Cabeza looks busy right now. The rain is not stopping people from eating their brains or their tongue. That's a good thing. I haven't gone there in a while. I love their food there. It is kind of pricey though. And God knows my money is tight right now. So yeah, $2 slice of pizza at Costco is much more in my budget than brain tacos over at Tacos de Cabeza. So anyway, so that was kind of a fail that it didn't recognize that, and it asked me, I'm having trouble understanding you. Please repeat your last 4 digits of your card number. And I'm like, I don't know. Those voice processing. Those automated customer service lines should always be able to understand I don't know and deal with it accordingly, because not everybody knows the answer to every question, and not everybody knows the answer to every question offhand. So the logic, the flow chart, which dictates how that automation responds to people, should definitely have an I don't know option, and should be listening for variations of people saying I don't know. But it didn't. In fact, it just seemed to, after a couple times of asking me, it seemed to think that the problem was it just simply not understanding me saying my card number. So it redirected me to touch tone entry. Again, asking me to touch tone in the last 4 digits of my card, which of course I didn't have handy and I don't know. So, So I just kind of sat there looking at the phone, waiting to see if at some point it would realize that I'm not putting in 4 numbers, so probably ask a different question or forward me to a human. A human would be nice. So it does eventually pass me on to, well, it asked some other questions. I'm trying to remember exactly what they were. I think it asked the last 4 digits of my Social Security. Actually, I think it asked me for my full Social Security number, which I gave it. And you would think that alone would get me through, but after that, it asked for some other numeric response that was, I forget what the hell it asked, but whatever it was, like it just struck me as completely asinine, and I didn't know what that number was, so I couldn't input it. All right, looks like we got somebody on a bike just rolling across the road, not even attempting to obey traffic laws. You know, and admittedly, I do that a lot when there's not traffic, but this time of the day, I wouldn't be trying to do that maneuver across 32nd Street on a bicycle. I think I'll go to Ace Hardware. There's something I wanted to get from Ace Hardware, and I'm just driving around talking. I found myself getting kind of close to Ace Hardware on Indian School. Anyway, there's another car with one of those banner ads on it. Anyway, after I failed to answer that question with touch tones, it said something along the lines of, "We're having difficulty understanding your responses. Please hold while we transfer you to a customer service representative." Why did it take that much dysfunction through automation to get me transferred to a person? Like, is it as soon as I said I don't know my card number offhand, it should have done that immediately. Just saying. Although I think once I said my Social Security number, it should have just matched that up with a card and got me to my account information. Given me my account summary, which should have included how much available credit I have, at which point I could have just hung up on the thing and been done. I was on the phone quite a while, and I wish I had my iPhone so I could look at it's at home right now, but I wish I had my iPhone handy so I could actually look at it and see how long that call was, because it feels like I was on the phone with him for quite a while. And it was quite a bit of time I was on the phone with the automation before it finally put me on hold. To be fair, I wasn't on hold very long before I got put to a person, but when I got to the person, and I'm sure I was getting her frustrated because she ended up transferring me to a identity theft professional. I think that's how he identified himself. And of course, this call's being recorded, so I'm thinking, oh great, he thinks I'm trying to steal my own identity. This is fabulous. Anyway, I was on the phone with him for a while. That guy was actually pretty entertaining. And at first, I remember. So I was getting questions. from the first customer service person. I told her, well, I don't have my card handy. I said, I don't really have time to go digging for it. I just need to get some basic account information. She asked me for my Social Security card. I'm like, yeah, I already punched that into the automation, but, my Social Security number. But I went in and gave it to her, And then she asked me to state my name exactly as it appears on the card. So, does it have my middle name on it or not? Is it an abbreviation as opposed to my name spelled out, that kind of thing? Ma'am, I just told you I don't have the card handy. How am I supposed to tell you how something appears on it when I don't have it and I can't look at it? I said, I can tell you this, though. You guys have my last name screwed up on it because it has a space in it as if my last name is 2 words and my last name is 1 word. Can you fix that? Well, I need to identify you first. Anyway, I could go on about this. The whole situation was kind of annoying. I did manage to get everything sorted out. Oh, and of course, that first person. So she told me that the misspelling of my last name, which is not a misspelling, it's just a space between like the second letter and the third letter, or maybe between the third letter and the fourth letter. I don't know how that, where they got that from, but my Costco card has always been like that. And I've just dealt with it because it always works and just too much hassle to fix it. Although I do remember one time I went to Costco customer service and I asked them if they could, if they could do something about that my name's spelled wrong. Or, spaced wrong. Is a space considered a letter in misspelling stuff? I don't know. Whether or not it's misspelled is kind of depending on your definition of misspelled, but regardless, there's a mistake in my last name on the dang card. And I did ask one time customer service about that, and they said, well, you need to call card services. We can't handle that here. And I mean the people at the store, like the customer service desk when you first walk in, where you buy your memberships and stuff. So, and I've never made that call to try to fix that because it's just really minor annoyance, and the card always works, so fuck it, whatever. But as long as I had her on the phone and we're dealing with stuff, it's like, hey, can you, like, I don't know exactly how my name appears on the card, but I do know that it appears incorrect on the card. Can we fix this? And then she's telling me, well, you need to fix that at customer service. Really? Because they told me I need to call you guys. Anyway, yeah, she was lying to me, because when I did finally get past passed off to the identity theft specialist or whatever the hell he was, I would like to point out it was a man that sorted stuff out, and it was a woman who kept giving me bullshit. Coincidence? Maybe, but I don't think so. Anyway, so the man sorted stuff out. At one point he did ask, like, what my security word was, and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember anything about a security word. He goes, well, let me read you the hint. Maybe that'll jog your memory. And he did, and it did, and I said it, and it was the right word. So that was a random thing that I totally didn't realize was there that actually worked, and amazingly it did, because the way my memory is, a lot of times things like that, like I put them in, and then when I'm asked to remember them, I don't remember them. It's like, I forget what I'm talking about mid-sentence. You're asking me to remember a word that I put in when setting something up years ago? Come on now. Yeah, the world is difficult for people with mental illness. Just throwing that out there. So, speaking of people with mental illness, I'm tired of listening to that guy on KTAR. Anyway, he set stuff up, and then I also told him about... Anyway, and I told him that the reason I wasn't is because they were, I said, I got to start digging through my dirty clothes. I'm not sure which pair of pants has got the card in the pocket. I said, it's not that I've lost my card. I just want to know if I have enough available credit on my card to go get a tank of gas before I spend the next 30 minutes digging through laundry. I don't want to spend 30 minutes digging through laundry if I don't have to, because I'm not going to get those 30 minutes back. Of course, I don't get the 30 minutes back I spent on the phone, but that's a separate problem. Well, speaking of separate problems, check out the front of that Beamer. That's a telltale sign of a tailgater who thinks that they don't have to drive a safe distance behind people because they can afford a Beamer. Not gonna lie, seeing a Beamer smashed up like that in the front end just kind of makes me happy inside. He was able to correct my name on my account. So come to find out, I did not need to handle that at customer service, who's already told me I need to handle it with credit card services. I'm supposed to get a new card mailed to me in the next couple of weeks, which is good because all the writing is fading off of my Costco card, because I don't carry a wallet. There's a long story behind why I don't, and I don't have time for that right now, but I've probably already said it in this vlog, and if I haven't, I'll say it eventually. I'll get on that tangent someday. But because I don't carry a wallet, like, my cards tend to get pretty worn out looking quicker than most people's cards do. And, my Costco card's looking pretty worn right now. So I'm glad I got a new one coming. I finally corrected my last name on it. That's a good thing, too. But yeah, I was explaining, that I'm just trying to find out how much available credit I have. Well, eventually he gave me that information, which was handy. But yeah, he's just going to send that in the mail. It's like, was there anything else I can make with today? I'm like, well, yeah, actually, my last reward certificate, I never received it. I was never able to use it. It expired, and I haven't received my new one either. I was explaining the issues I have with my mailman and receiving mail. And anyway, he had to pass me back to somebody else, customer service, to handle that. It felt like it was the woman I was talking to before, but it could have been a different woman. I really don't know for sure. But anyway, the woman that he transferred to, she said that since it's been done, she could send that digitally, so it should be in my email. I haven't checked it yet. But yeah, a reward certificate in my email is a lot more accessible to me than something sent through the U.S. mail that can get lost or thrown away or misplaced or returned to sender by my mailman who thinks I don't check my mailbox enough, or taken by my daughter and put God knows where she puts my mail when she empties the mailbox. And then, the girlfriend, when she would empty the mailbox, she put my mail all kinds of places. I find mail laying around my apartment when I'm straightening stuff up all the time, and I open it, and the shit's like 3-5 years old. I've found mail that's like 8-9 years old, which tells me that it was in shit that I packed when I packed up my apartment in Tempe, and then it got put wherever it got put in my new apartment. I'm just now getting around to finding it and opening it. So yeah, reward certificate with an expiration date. Send that to my email so I can find the damn thing. Anyway, I can't believe I've been going on about this for over 30 minutes, but just wanted to get my frustration with that out, and thank you to the man that I talked to at Costco Visa Credit Card Services, who was able to actually handle my issues. But yeah, if anybody's listening who works for Costco credit card customer service, do some work on your automated prompts, because that first voice recognition thing, when it asks the last 4 digits of somebody's card number, should be able to identify I don't have it handy or I don't know, and at least immediately identify that as a response and send the person to a live customer service representative. That person who calls shouldn't be stuck in automation hell for the next 5 to 10 minutes of their life. Although I got a feeling it's done that way intentionally, just to cause people to get frustrated so that they'll just hang up and not try to get customer service. I feel like that's kind of a thing these days too. Anyway, I'm going into Ace Hardware. I've noticed that my main kitchen cupboard that I keep kind of use as a pantry, keep most of my food in, the little things that make the doors stay closed have become bent or broken or whatever. They don't work. There's no keeping those doors. I close them and they just swing right back open, and it's starting to drive me crazy. So I'm going to try to fix that. I mean, I could call my landlord about that, but come on now. It's probably a $2, under $5 piece of hardware at Ace, and it'd be something that I'd enjoy fixing myself, so I'm just going to fix it myself. So I want to handle that. Speaking of food in my pantry, heard the funniest thing on news radio the other day. I forget what show I was listening to, who I was listening to on KTAR, but it was somebody on KTAR was talking about how currently pantry porn, that's what they were calling it, pantry porn, is a current fad on TikTok. And it's basically showing a small video of your well-stocked and neatly organized pantry, and that it's racist. And it's racist. And they went on to this explanation of how it's racist, which was absolutely asinine. But, yeah, let's add pantries and pantry porn to the list of things that are racist. What next? And I'm back. I just finished up over at Ace Hardware. It's 11:37. Still Wednesday morning. I should really be asleep right now, but I've already slept so much. I just know I'm headed towards another one of those days where I end up probably falling asleep when it's about time to go to work, and either oversleeping when I'm supposed to be headed to work, or going to work and then being, oh, did you see the front of that Dodge pickup truck? It's got more of those, more of that telltale, I'm a tailgater damage on it. Anyway, yeah, worried about the situation, like where I get to work, and I'm just super tired at work. After lunch, And you know, as I mentioned, I had what I feel should have been considered a pit incident that my manager didn't. And I'm sure a lot of that just stemmed from the fact he probably just didn't want to deal with safety and didn't want to lose me as a forklift driver. So just kind of figured if needed, he'd take the heat for it and tell me that everything's just fine. Since the only damage was, you know, a couple of bottles of vitamins and a little bit of organization. You know, there were contents of 2 totes that got commingled and some of it damaged that, of course, needed to be taken and inventoried or sorted or whatever it is that the problem solver type people do that handle that. And of course that made the pallet of totes no longer a pallet of totes, so that became a problem solver pallet as well. But as you know, anyway, it's not like there were any injuries. That was an important thing. But anyway, as I mentioned, I feel that was largely caused, at least partially caused by the fact that I was really tired by the end of that shift when that happened. And I'm worried I'm headed towards another one of those shifts tonight. I don't know, cross the bridge when I get to it. At this point, I'm not really tired enough to go back to sleep, so I'm just kind of trying to go about my day. Still kind of yucky and wet outside. Like, it's not cold, but it's kind of cold. Shit, I was going to go by Circle K and get a Sip and Save drink. I almost forgot about that. I think I'm going to stop at the one, since I'm all the way up on Indian School. I'm going to try to stop at the one. That guy is just like hovering with me in his blind spot. The guy in the truck. Yeah, a lot of times when I find somebody doing that, I like to slow down just a little bit so they'll go ahead and pass me. I just don't like constantly being like right next to somebody where we're sort of in each other's blind spots. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to go to the Circle K over at 44th and Osborne. And the one I just passed was on the left side of the road. We've taken left turns to get in. And granted, it's going to take a left turn off 44th Street, or possibly a left onto Osborne, and then a left off of Osborne to get into it. The one at 44th and Osborne. However, that's an exceptionally nice Circle K. And I haven't gone into that one in a while. That one frequently has interesting alcoholic beverages in its clearance bin for super cheap. So I'm starting to run low on those again, surprisingly. Although the so-called girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever she is this week, she brought over several shots the other night when she came over, and then basically messed with my hormones the entire night and all into the next day. Yeah, I just got no patience for cock teases at this point. Like, either you're there in bed with me to take care of that, or you just need to go home. I haven't heard back from her yet since I'm trying to think whenever she last showed up at my place. I haven't heard from her since. So at least that's one. I want to say it's one less thing to worry about, but of course I'm going to continue to worry about it for a while. She brought several shots, like little single serving shooters of, what do you call it? The cinnamon whiskey, Fireball whiskey shots. And there's still quite a few of those got left behind, so I still have those. I think I put those in my freezer. Those are really good when served like super chilled, just taking them as straight shots. But yeah, I want to hit this Circle K because it tends to have some decent, interesting alcoholic beverages in its discount pile, and get my Sip and Save drink. Although I might just get my free drink and move on. I've gotten a lot better at that at Circle K, which I think defeats the purpose of their Sip and Save program. I know it's just to try to get customers to come into the door once a day and spend something on something, but yeah, after all the times they kind of screwed me around on trying to overcharge me for those little bags of nuts that were supposed to be $1 with the purchase of a drink, yeah, at this point I have no qualms with going in, getting my free drink, turning around and walking out. Malika messaged me already. Told me she had fun last night. That's a good sign. Oh, we got cops hanging out here. I wonder what that's about. Hopefully he's just getting a drink himself versus investigating an issue. So I got the hardware I wanted at Ace Hardware. They had several different options for the hardware that goes into cabinets. Some that were magnetic, some that were mechanical. I opted for kind of a traditional mechanical one that has a couple little rollers on it. There were two options that were cheaper. One was just a little mechanical clip. The other one also used rollers, but was a little less complicated than this. It was also kind of obnoxiously larger than this. But these ones here, and I got two, because I think I got two cabinet doors, and each one needs its own. But, I wouldn't say it broke the bank. It was, how much were they? $259 each. So my total was $518, $563 with sales tax. So $5 to not have my cabinet doors swing open when I try to close them and stay half swung open. That feels like $5 well spent. And welcome back. It's 11:52, and check this out. It's stuff like this that makes me frustrated with Circle K, but I keep coming back. So it was time for me to renew my Sip and Save, which is fine. I don't have a problem with renewing it. And if you look here, there's a sign in front of the store, right in front of my parking spot, that says, sign up today, subscribe now, $5.99 a month. But when I went in there to subscribe, it said on the screen to re-enroll that it's $9.99 a month. And if you look here on my receipt, you see beverage subscription. Of course, it's a faded, streaky receipt because they don't maintain their printers very well. But beverage subscription, $9.99. When you added tax to it, it was it $10.85? What, $9.99 for the beverage subscription, and it took off $1.09 for the soda. Wow, and the soda's $1.09. It used to be that a fountain soda at Circle K was less than $1. Tax 86 cents for a total of $10.85. That's a pretty sharp increase from $5.99 to $9.99. And I'm not as much bothered by the increase. I mean, I paid it. And nobody told the cashiers about it either. The cashier was asking the other cashiers, just like, hey, why is it almost $11? And then I looked at the screen in front of me where it was, giving me the button with the option to re-enroll, and it said right on it $9.99. I'm like, oh, damn, look, the price went up to $9.99. So even the cashiers, at least the cashier that was helping me, unfamiliar with the fact that the price has gone up. And I guess, all in all, I'm not as bothered by the fact that the price has gone up. I mean, still $9.99 for a free drink that's now gone up to $1.10. One a month, so I mean, $30. That's, I mean, even assuming they were an even dollar, that's a $30 value. So not quite the steal it was at $5.99 a month, but still a hell of a good value. But I guess my biggest problem is the fact that they've still got a giant sign up front advertising, sign up today, subscribe now, $5.99 a month for something that is actually $9.99. I thought false advertising was illegal. And that's pretty bold false advertising right there. Not that that's what the police are here dealing with, but... And the police don't mess with stuff like that. Like, I'm sure if I mentioned that to the cop would just look at me like I'm an idiot. Because that'd be kind of an idiot to mention like something like that to a cop. It's not a police matter, but I do remember hearing somewhat recently on news radio about how there had been how there was some state agency that regulates businesses actually charging what they say they're charging. The impatient vehicle honking at me was a Dodge. There's a definite correlation between impatient drivers and people who drive Dodges. And notice he passed on the right, and I bet at the soonest opportunity he's going to try to change lanes to get around the Ford that's in front of him. Called it. Called it. There's a definite correlation between impatient people and people who drive Dodges. And I did not cut him off, just to be clear. When I pulled out, he was a fair decent distance behind me. And I just matched the speed of the Ford in front of me. So, but yeah, I felt the need to flash his lights at me and honk, and he saw the way he drove when he drove past me. So, oh yeah, always plenty of impatient people driving Dodges in Phoenix. Anyway, so yeah, there's a state agency that regulates businesses actually charging what their posted prices are, and they can fine them if they're not. And the posted price for the Sip and Save on the front of the building is $6.99. Now, I didn't see if there was anything promoting it inside the building. To be fair, when it came up on the screen, it did say $9.99. I did have the option of saying, oh, it's supposed to be $6.99, and I did say, well, whatever, still a good value, I'll go ahead and get it. But I might have taken a different approach had I noticed that sign on the outside of the building coming in. I really should contact Circle K manager, like their corporate office about it. There's a 1-8. Yeah, there's the phone number on the store for the store here, but at the bottom it says customer service hotline, and there's I think it's a 1888 number. It's kind of hard to read because this whole receipt is all streaky. You know, and it still says Polar Pop starting at 79 cents every day, but yet the Polar Pop was $1.09. And with it being $1.09, I bet they don't start at 79 cents anymore. So that's great. We got a thing saying my Polar Pop was $1.09, but then at the bottom of the receipt, it's still false advertising. They're 79 cents every day when they're not anymore. Yeah, it's fine. Y'all going to change your prices, but you got to quit advertising your old prices while simultaneously charging the newer, higher prices. Come on, Circle K, get your shit together. At least the Circle K water tropical breeze flavor is delicious. So. But I just spent $10, actually nearly $11, and was planning to go in and out and get a drink for free. So. Kind of a lose there. Oh well. But hey, at least I got something to bitch and complain about as I'm pointing at clouds driving down the street. Oh hey, look, we got a patriotic homeless guy here on the left. Check that outfit out. Oh, I can't really see him. Can you see him? Pulling a stolen shopping cart with all kinds of crap on it. Good times. God, the world is just crazy outside. The layers are crazy. Circle K is crazy. That guy pulling a shopping cart with the American flag shirt is crazy. The renaming of this little strip mall on the left, that's kind of crazy too. It's now called Arcadia Court. I don't recall what it was called before, but I'm sure it was something different. At least I think it was something different. Anyway, they've got a brand new sign up right there on the left with little spaces for local businesses to have their names in the signs, and they're all blank. The sign that was there before had the name of the shopping center. I genuinely don't remember what it said before. I don't recall it being called Arcadia Court, though. And the old sign, and the thing that caught my eye about that old sign there is I walked by it a couple days ago. One of the days I was riding the bus, and I walked from the bus stop right there to Oak Street to head home. And I noticed that the urgent care, whose building was bulldozed like nearly a year ago, that was on that corner, was still mentioned, still listed on the sign. I hear somebody honking. Oh, probably the guy in that white Dodge truck. Was that the same Dodge truck that was... I think that was the same Dodge truck that was behind me, super impatient. I think it is. He was honking because he wanted the guy in front of him to hurry up and turn left so he could make a U-turn to go, and he actually pulled into the Arcadia Court. And he was squealing his tires when he ran around as he curved into the parking lot. And people who drive Dodges just so impatient. That guy was a piece of work. And yes, I'm waiting for 2 changes of the light to turn left. It kind of sucks, but no reason to act like a total asshole and be honking your horn there. Because here we go. There's a green left arrow. And the Dodge directly in front of me, driving just, fine. Oh, right on. We got the crazy guy with the American flag crossing right in front of me. Just pulling his cart down the street like he's a vehicle. This is fun. Yeah, you're a piece of work, dude. I would love to see this guy get a jaywalking ticket for this. Dude, use the sidewalk. What the fuck is wrong with you? So yeah, the encampment has moved. Oh no, there's more of them congregating inside the... Yeah, it's kind of moved on the other side of the fence. And then there's quite a few of the homeless people on the left side. They've moved across the street into Costco's property. Really wish they'd get out of this side of town. Go to the zone. The zone awaits you. Well, this is a fun diversion out of the house. Killed about 2 hours worth of time. I left. It was almost 10. I'm getting home. It's almost noon. I didn't have much anything better to do. I'm going to go inside. Hopefully I'm going to actually finish this project with my cupboard doors. It's the last project I bought hardware for, which was working on my cassette walls. I made no progress with that at all. And my cat has got a bunch of the hardware and drug it around on my hallway floor. As he goes digging into stuff, hoping it's food. Sambo is not the brightest cat. Maybe I should work on that project today. I don't know. Not really feeling on that in-depth of a project right now. But I think I'll finish the cupboards. It'd be nice to be able to finally close my damn kitchen cupboards. And actually, before I headed out, I was working on music on my computer. Something I used to do every day. I haven't done in a little while. I kind of continued where I left off. If you remember, working on karaoke music. A couple of weeks ago, I added karaoke for the song Little Bit of Soul, which is functionally the only hit that the late 60s band Music Explosion had, or The Music Explosion. I added an MP3 for that song today. Now, I had downloaded on a streamed audio file, which comes down as a video file from YouTube. It takes a little effort to convert that into an MP3, and I made that effort this morning, and then I have an MP3 of that into my music collection that I can use for DJing or making mixed CDs for people or mixtapes for people, or even loading onto MP3 players or what have you. So that's kind of cool. I like that song. It's an enjoyable song that seems to have kind of fallen off of the general radar and radio playlists and whatnot, so kind of glad to add it to my stuff. I've been working on one video since I kind of started working on that, and I haven't got it finished, but I'm trying to get the video done for Afro Man, Old and Fat. I kind of want to make an edit of it too, because the music video's got some concert footage where he's just kind of doing some banter with the crowd before the show, and I'd like to edit it down to where it's just the song. But right now I'm working on the one where it's got the banner in it. Yeah, I had to keep redoing it because the audio just kept coming up. The level was just hotter than I wanted it to be. I feel like that guy that just walked past me in the alley is probably homeless. The homeless people prefer to walk down this alley than actually walk down Oak Street. It's a little frustrating, being that this alley borders my backyard and where I park. I haven't actually added any karaoke, but I've been doing the file conversion from MP4 to AVI on several of my karaoke version downloads for karaoke, including the song, a new version for the song What's Love by Fat Joe and Ashanti. Malika and I did that as a duet last night at Ink Nick's, and it was fun. It needs work, but it was fun. The version that he had for karaoke was not so good, and then I went through and looked at the one that I have in my system, and it's even worse. Although, to be fair, the one that I have is like in the system as male solo, so the Ashanti parts are in the track. Doesn't do anybody any good for wanting to do it as a duet. Obviously, I already noticed that that's an issue because I'd already purchased a version that's actually as a trio, because there's another male singer on it. I forget who it is. And the one that I have actually has it all in 3 different colors for the different singers. I'm probably going to try and get that one added today, but if not, I'll probably add some other karaoke tracks as well. Quite a few, like ones I've recently purchased, and then some I'm sitting on. We're having in the file conversion, and I just try to do that just because that's a real easy thing to start and walk away from while I'm working on other stuff. Not that I'm really looking for active karaoke gigs right now, but it's always nice to add more songs to that catalog. And just keep something new on my songbookdb.com page. So anyway, thanks for coming with me on this drive, running errands. I'm sure this was probably a boring video for most people, but it feels good sharing my day and my thoughts and stuff. So thanks for watching.